Listen, whatever cosmic chaos is swirling between Cardi B and Offset right now, it has entered a completely new dimension, one that feels less like celebrity gossip and more like a season premiere of a reality show the entire internet is accidentally starring in. Because at this point, it's starting to look like these two, once the most talked about hip-hop couple in the country, are somehow caught in a bizarre, unintentional baby-for-baby showdown. Cardi just welcomed her newborn son Brim with Stefon Diggs in what looked like the soft life, healed woman fairy tale ending her fans always wanted for her. And then suddenly, with no warning, rumors exploded that Offset might also have a brand new baby on the way. Not with his current girlfriend, not with the girl living in Cardi's Atlanta mansion, no, with a completely different woman out in Chicago. And that's when this story stopped being gossip and became a full-blown cultural event. Before we even get into the deep end of this mess, let's get one thing straight. Cardi B and Offset are not together. They have been separated for well over a year, and their divorce is still dragging through the legal system like it's moving through molasses. They aren't reconciling, they aren't sneaking around behind the scenes, and they aren't in some secret situationship. They are done. Period. They are living completely separate lives. Cardi with her new chapter, and Offset with, well, whatever this whirlwind is that he has created for himself. So any narrative that this is some love triangle or a reunion plotline, dead that now. Because what's happening here has nothing to do with love. It's about patterns, egos, and the internet refusing to let go of one of the most messy celebrity timelines of the last decade. The first spark of chaos came from none other than Tasha K, the queen of turbulence herself. According to her, she was contacted weeks ago with claims that Offset had another baby on the way, but she chose not to post it initially. Not because she feared lawsuits, not because she doubted the source, but because Cardi was in the middle of welcoming her newborn child with Stefon Diggs. Tasha said she didn't want to drag drama into Cardi's moment of peace. But that peace was short-lived, because the alleged new mother, a Chicago woman named Cash, contacted Tasha personally, not to deny rumors, not to clarify misunderstandings, but to push the story forward. According to Tasha, Cash told her directly, "Post it, and I dare Offset to say it's cap." That wasn't a timid request. That was a challenge, a digital slap to Offset's public persona. And in a world where screenshots travel faster than press releases, Cash wasn't playing. Now, here's where the situation goes from messy to absolutely cinematic. Because Offset is not single in the traditional sense. He has a girlfriend. A girlfriend who, according to Tasha, is living inside Cardi B's Atlanta mansion, the very mansion Cardi purchased, renovated, showed off online, defended from trolls, and built family memories in. That house. That house is now apparently home to Offset and another woman. But here's the kicker. The girlfriend living in that mansion is not the one who is allegedly pregnant. So if your head is spinning, that means you're following along. Offset allegedly has one woman living in the mansion of his estranged wife and another woman in an entirely different state claiming to be carrying his child. Even for Offset, a man known for being surrounded by rumor and speculation, this is a new tier of chaos. Cash isn't whispering. She isn't posting cryptic emojis. She's speaking with her chest. According to Tasha, Cash claims Offset knows about the pregnancy and even allegedly attempted to pay for an abortion. She refused. And the reason she gave wasn't about money, security, or clout. According to her, she said, "Offset is a great father, and I'm not about to stand before God and explain why I stopped him from having more kids." That line alone, whether you believe it or not, belongs in the Offset cinematic universe. It's dramatic, it's emotional, and it perfectly fits the long-running pattern of Offset's relationships overlapping like tangled headphone wires. Cash also claims she has screenshots ready to release if Offset tries to deny her publicly. Not messages, screenshots. And if you know anything about internet culture, you know screenshots are the nuclear button of drama. They destroy timelines, they end denials, and they leave digital footprints that can't be edited away.
So when a woman says she has screenshots waiting, you know the storm isn't just brewing, it's already overhead.
Offset, who is usually quick to throw up a cap emoji or clap back at headlines, has been completely silent. Not a denial, not a shade post, not a cryptic lyric, nothing. And that silence has become part of the story. Because Offset loves to deny things. He denies faster than he raps. He denies with emojis, with tweets, with sarcastic comments, with videos. But now, nothing. And the internet took that nothing and turned it into something loud. Fans flooded his comments, blogs started running headlines, and trending topics exploded with jokes, theories, and GIFs. The internet treated the rumor like a full season drop of a messy reality show, and every comment section became the audition room for unpaid detectives. As with all chaotic celebrity stories, social media turned into a battleground within hours. Twitter Spaces hosted debates like this was a national scandal. TikTok creators stitched each other, analyzing timelines, comparing receipts, and predicting outcomes like sports commentators. Instagram blogs refreshed every hour waiting for Offset's response. One fan tweeted, "Offset always trying to one-up Cardi, but this time he played himself." Another wrote, "If Cash is pregnant, that's karma with immaculate timing." Within a day, Cash's follower count shot up. Every old post of hers was dissected. People found photos from the summer that suddenly made sense. A chain that looked suspiciously like Offset's in the corner of a club video, a luxury interior that didn't match her usual lifestyle. The internet connected dots that might not even belong to the same picture. But online, perception becomes evidence. Meanwhile, Cardi B has not said a single word publicly, but insiders claim she's irritated, not because she wants Offset back or cares about who he's with, but because every time his name trends for chaos, hers gets attached. Cardi is trying to move on. She is healing. She is raising her newborn with Stefon Diggs. She is working on music, brand deals, and motherhood. But because of their shared history, every mess Offset creates drags her name into conversations she wants no part of. According to one source, Cardi wishes he would get his life together, simply so her name stops being collateral damage in his scandals. Her silence is calculated, it's strategic, it's controlled. Gone are the days when Cardi would hop on Twitter to cuss people out and drop receipts in real time. She's learned the power of not reacting, and that power makes Offset look even messier in contrast. If you zoom out, this story isn't surprising. Offset has a long documented pattern of creating chaos at the exact moment his life starts to stabilize. Every time peace settles in, something erupts, whether it's cheating scandals, surprise babies, fights, rumors, or messy online interactions. It's like he's allergic to calm. People close to him say this isn't about love, it's about ego. When Cardi moved on with a man as respected, admired, and widely loved as Stefon Diggs, it allegedly hit Offset in the pride. Cardi stopped caring, stopped engaging, stopped defending him. She became the unbothered one, the peaceful one, the leveled up one. And for a man whose public persona thrives on attention, that shift stings. Some fans believe this new baby scandal is less about fatherhood and more about reclaiming relevance. But if that was the goal, it backfired. However, to understand why this story is blowing up the way it is, we have to start with the simple fact that Cardi B and Offset are not together. They have been separated for well over a year, and their divorce proceedings are still ongoing. This isn't a situationship. This isn't a pause. This isn't a trial separation. Cardi moved on, Offset moved on, and while they do co-parent their 2 children together, Culture and Wave, the romantic relationship is done. That part is already established, but what complicates the situation and what always seems to push these two back into headlines together is that Offset's romantic and personal life tends to spiral into public messes that almost inevitably drag Cardi's name into conversations she wants no part of. Even though she's building something new, something peaceful, something mature with Stefon Diggs, every new piece of chaos in Offset's orbit triggers a new wave of gossip that splashes onto her. And this time is no different, only messier. Now, here's where things become almost ironically cinematic. Offset currently has a girlfriend,
a woman Cardi B herself has previously confronted online. Cardi has directly called this girl out before, pointing out the strange situation of a woman she allegedly got into it with, still living inside her Atlanta mansion. And yes, you heard that correctly, Offset's current girlfriend lives inside Cardi B's house. A house Cardi bought, a house Cardi designed, decorated, and documented online, a house Cardi maintained. Now, Offset is free to date whoever he wants. Cardi has moved on and makes that clear, but the optics of your estranged husband's girlfriend living in your property while you're preparing to welcome a baby with someone else, that alone sounds like the plot of a VH1 reality show that would air right after Love and Hip Hop. But let me emphasize the important detail.
The girlfriend living in the mansion is not the woman who's allegedly pregnant, which immediately raised eyebrows and had the internet asking, then who is? Enter Cash, a woman from Chicago, not Offset's mean girl, not the mansion girlfriend. According to the latest rumors, Cash is a woman Offset allegedly had relations with on the side, and she is now claiming she's pregnant with his baby. But what makes her claim so explosive isn't the allegation itself. It's her attitude toward it. Cash isn't whispering. She's not posting vague quotes. She's not deleting comments or running away from the spotlight. According to blogger Tasha K, who broke the story publicly, Cash is encouraging the exposure. She wants it out. She wants Offset to acknowledge the situation. She is reportedly daring him to his face, to his fans, to everyone online to deny it publicly so she can post what she describes as her receipts. Her exact stance, according to Tasha K, is basically, let him call Cap, I got screenshots ready. And that is the kind of energy that turns a rumor into a wildfire. Now here's where Tasha K enters the chat because she is the one who decided to publicly drop the bomb. Tasha revealed that she actually heard the rumor weeks ago. She received messages claiming Offset had a baby on the way, but chose not to post about it at the time. And before anyone assumed she was scared of lawsuits or drama, Tasha was quick to clarify that she wasn't avoiding it for legal reasons. According to her, she chose to hold back because Cardi B was in her moment. Cardi had just given birth to her baby boy, Brim, with Stefon Diggs. Tasha said she didn't want to feed the narrative of people piling negativity onto Cardi's new chapter or using Cardi's joy as an excuse to stir up mess around her name. So she chose to stay quiet initially. But then, Cash allegedly reached out to Tasha directly and told her point blank, there's a baby, I want you to post it, and I dare him to say it's Cap. It was at that moment Tasha K said, all right, well, and took the story public. This entire story lands at a moment that's huge for Cardi B. She just welcomed her baby boy, Brim, whose father is Stefon Diggs, not Offset. Cardi has moved on, embraced a new relationship, and stepped into motherhood again. Her supporters have been celebrating her peaceful new chapter and admiring how maturely she handled her separation from Offset. But this new alleged pregnancy connected to Offset created a tidal wave of speculation about whether the timing is coincidental or whether Offset was reacting emotionally, even subconsciously, to Cardi's new family expanding. People online instantly began asking, did Offset do this out of spite? Did he feel some type of way about Cardi having a baby with someone else? Or is this just Offset repeating old behavior? And honestly, all of those questions come from real history, because Offset did get another woman pregnant while married to Cardi in the past. It was public, it was messy, and it was one of the many incidents that eventually fractured their marriage beyond repair. So for the internet, this new situation doesn't sound unrealistic. It sounds like deja vu. Tasha also mentioned a DNA test, Dana, as she jokingly called it, would need to come into play eventually. Because for a situation involving an estranged husband, a new girlfriend, and a side chick, the only way to determine truth is through official paternity testing. And that, Tasha said, is why everything is being described as alleged until proven. Offset, who is normally quick with a cap emoji or a comment denying rumors, has been silent. Completely silent. Not a post, not a tweet, not a joke, not even a mysterious lyric. And in the world of social media, silence is loud. Silence fuels speculation. Silence makes rumors heavier.
And that silence is what made this story explode across the internet. Fans started analyzing old posts, digging up club videos, scanning Cash's Instagram, and looking for clues. Some fans think he's avoiding talking because the rumor is true. Others think he's preparing a denial with evidence. And some believe he's staying silent to avoid amplifying the story even further. But the longer he stays silent, the louder the internet gets. We also can't forget the girlfriend living in Cardi's mansion. According to what's circulating online, she's embarrassed and upset because she had no idea about the situation with Cash. When the news broke, the internet targeted her as well, creating memes and jokes about her living in a house filled with past drama. Social media can be brutal, and this woman has become an unintentional character in a storyline she never signed up for. Her name started trending alongside the story, and people began tagging her with messages questioning why she stays with Offset, why she's in Cardi's house, and why she hasn't spoken out.
Which, again, proves that Offset's chaos always ends up dragging the women attached to him, directly or indirectly, into public scrutiny. Tasha K, during her live, also mentioned how small and interconnected the entertainment world is. She name-dropped people, talked about friends dating friends' exes, and referenced outrageous connections that gave this whole story even more shock value. She even joked about needing more women to get BBLs, so celebrities stop rotating the same pool of people. A comment that, though controversial, reflects the absurd overlap of relationships in celebrity circles. This added layer created a bigger conversation online about how chaotic, tangled, and repetitive dating circles in the industry can be, and how quickly things can get messy when everyone is connected. So now that we've laid out the entire situation, the history, the allegations, the timing, and the reactions, the question becomes, what do we believe? Is Offset really expecting a baby with Cash? Is this rumor rooted in truth? Did he make a bad decision in a moment of ego or emotion? Or is this nothing more than a messy accusation amplified by the internet? Some fans think the timing is way too convenient to be coincidence. Others say Offset has a pattern that lines up with this behavior. And then there are those who believe the industry drama is always exaggerated for clicks, likes, and headlines. At the end of the day, this story is still unfolding in real time. And until Offset addresses it, or Cash drops the receipts, everything remains in the realm of allegations. But one thing's for sure, Offset's name is trending again. Cardi's name is being dragged into a situation she's not part of. And the internet is eating up every new detail like it's a season premiere. Let's not forget the woman living in Cardi's Atlanta mansion. According to insiders, she is furious about being dragged into a situation she had nothing to do with. When the Cash story broke, she apparently had a meltdown and disappeared from social media after posting a cryptic quote about betrayal. People started clowning her online, saying she's living in a haunted house of heartbreak, because every woman who steps into that mansion ends up involved in some kind of emotional damage. The place that once symbolized love, success, and family is now becoming the headquarters for humiliation. Fans even joked that she should check the guest list because another baby mama might be moving in soon. Whether she stays, leaves, or tries to pretend this storm isn't happening, the internet already inserted her into the storyline. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. This is going to have long-lasting consequences, not just for Offset's image, but for his pockets and his legacy. If the pregnancy is real, there will be DNA tests, legal negotiations, custody conversations, and child support payments. And every step of that journey will be public because Offset is not a private man. He has lived his entire adult life in a spotlight filled with scandal. Cardi has built a new chapter rooted in peace. Offset, meanwhile, keeps recycling the same storyline with new cast members. And over time, that stops being entertaining and starts looking sad. So now we wait. Will Cash drop screenshots? Will Offset finally speak? Will Tasha K release more? Will the mansion girlfriend return? Will social media drag Offset into oblivion again? Because if one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. In fact, we might only be in episode 1. But I want to hear from you.
Do you think this is karma, coincidence, or classic Offset behavior? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for the next update. Because the way this story is unfolding, the next chapter might be even crazier than this one.